welcome to the show. I'm Scott. The guy above me is Dave. There, Dave. Anyway.
Not wearing a kilt today.
We did. No, and that's not all you're not wearing. Anyway. Today's show is a little departure. We're going to drop this in the timeline due to the untimely passing of Val Kilmer. We decided to visit one of Val's most memorable roles as Doc Holliday in Tombstone, 1993. Wow. This is probably on the top of most people's Western list. If you say, hey, what's a good Western? Tombstone is going to come up as a recommendation. And I can tell you right now, yes, I will always recommend this movie. Good movie. I forgot how good Val was in this and how believable he was.
We were talking last night where there's a scene where there's a close-up. He's doing something. He's like lighting a cigarette, rolling a cigarette. It's a close-up of his hands and how blue, like how pale and blue and sickly his hands look. And I was like, man, they didn't waste a minute of anything. Like they if they were going to do something, they did it right. And he looked sick. I mean, he looked.
Oh, the whole movie, you knew he was sick. He would be sweating. You would see him sweat, and he brought that cough in that was very convincing in the way he delivered. And Doc Holliday died of tuberculosis. So by the time we get to this movie, he's well progressed, about hardly has any lung function left. So folks, let me just rewind just a little bit. The movie Tombstone is the story of Wyatt Earp and his brothers and Doc Holliday. After Wyatt hangs up his badge as a lawman and goes to just retire. This movie is largely true and accurate. For the most part, there were liberties taken in some historical aspects, but it does cover pretty much his story and the things that happened and the people involved. This is a good tale. Everybody's heard of the OK Corral, and this is what happens after the OK Corral shootout.
Most movies up to this point, I think, went up to the OK Corral and never really went and said, well, what happened the next day? This one's whole setup was to find out what happened the next day. What happened a week, 2 weeks, a month, however long these guys were hunting each other down. Directed by George P. Cosmatos and written by Kevin Jarre or Hare. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I don't know if he's pronounced the J. The script this guy delivered is phenomenal. And then you have the actors. I mean, you got Kurt Russell as Wyatt Earp, Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday, Sam Elliott. It's funny because I had forgotten that Sam Elliott played Virgil. And then as soon as I seen him, I was like, of course he's Virgil. Of course. Bill Paxton was Morgan. And again, I mean, most of these actors that I'm going to name off, they just became the character so much that I forgot who played him.
Bill Paxton, I love his acting. He was such a joy in anything. And I will roll back just for a flashback here to one movie that I do not like called Streets of Fire, where Bill Paxton is in it for a brief moment, a very small, probably one day walk-on role in his early career, and he nails this small part so big. It was like an instant acting class. I was like, damn. And he always did that. He always brought 110%. So, and he did it here.
Let's talk about Morgan. Paxton one more thing. On Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., when he was part of the Octopus Guild, Hydra. Thank you.
Hydra. The Octopus Guild. I love it. Now, why do I hear that in a little people voice?
As soon as I said it, I knew it was Hydra. For whatever reason.
The Octopus Guild. Holy crap.
He played like one of the heads of Hydra, like one of the big hunch. And everybody's like, Hail Hydra, and they're doing the Hydra salute. And he's like, yeah, whatever. He's And they're just looking at him like, don't you care? He goes, this is a job. He goes, you guys are all brainwashed. I'm not brainwashed or something like that. He's
Yeah,
basically just
I forgot
insulting all
about
these
that. I loved
Hydra,
Shield. Yeah,
foot soldiers. He's like, man, you guys are nuts. And the way he played that character was fantastic. I was like, wow, I never thought
yeah,
I'd see Bill Paxton in a freaking television series, number one. Number two, to play that guy that way, I was like, that's perfect. That's perfect. Um, but who else?
yeah.
Powers Booth played Curly
Yes,
Bill. Michael Bean, yeah,
that's who
Michael
that
Bean
was.
played Johnny Ringo.
Johnny
Johnny
Ringo. Oh
Ringo,
yeah.
why you look so disturbed? You look like somebody just walked across your grave. Move my speaker a little bit closer so you can.
Yeah.
Jason Priestley. Oh well, Charlton Heston was in it.
I forgot he was in that.
First of all,
Yeah, Charlton Heston showed
Jason
up.
Priestley was Bill Breckenridge. That was the gay guy that had a crush on
Yeah.
I want to say Jude Law, but it's not Jude Law. The
I forget
actor.
who. Yeah, but I will give this movie this much. It was presented in a probably very realistic way.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it was just matter of fact, and
Yeah.
nobody
Nobody cared.
cared.
You're out west. I mean,
So
you read some books about the history of the West, and there's a lot of stuff that the Wild West was more psychotic than you could think, but it was on the same coin, opposite side, was probably some of the best and freest time you could have.
yeah,
The sheriff marshal, is it first Texas Marshal, Bass Reeves, first black Texas Marshal, Bass Reeves. I read a couple of books.
hmm
And when I'm watching this movie, I think of Bass Reeves. I'm watching Wyatt
yeah,
Earp's character, Kurt Russell, walk across that river, and everybody's shooting at him. That is a Bass Reeves moment. That actually happened to Bass Reeves, where he got off his horse.
Now, isn't there a
There's a series.
newer
I've never
series
watched
or
it. I don't know what
movie?
channel it's on. I'm sorry,
Okay, yeah, I thought I ran across a trailer a while
but
back.
Bass Reeves
So
did that kind of thing. Five or six guys are shooting at him.
that
Like
was a hell of a moment. That
bullet
was a
went through his
great
hat, went through his
cinematic
coat.
moment.
No bullets ever hit Bass Reeves. Guy was bulletproof. But that when I saw him do that, I was like, oh my God, that is so Bass Reeves. And I found my book and I was like, yep, he did not that exact same
Oh,
thing, but
damn.
very similar to it. And I was
Right,
like,
but
I wonder how many marshals actually had to do that kind of thing. Like just I'm hunkered down, man. They're gonna
well,
come
here
kill
we
me
go.
if I don't move. And they're gonna kill me if I do.
Yeah, but this is there's a I can't say enough good about the actors in
Oh
this
God.
movie. Because of moments like that, Kurt Russell
Yeah.
nails it. I haven't seen anything with Kurt Russell that I didn't like.
No.
So I can't
No.
think of one
Honestly,
yet. I'll
I
have to
like
try and
the
find one.
kid, the one, the computer with the wore tennis shoes. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
the computer wore tennis
and
shoes.
all
Yes.
the Disney
Yeah.
movies he
Yeah.
did. The first thing Disney
Mhm.
wise that I saw that he didn't do or didn't he didn't work for Disney. The first thing I remember is Escape from New York, and I remember
Yeah.
watching that the
Yeah.
first time, and I was blown away. I was like, how is the computer wore tennis shoes guy? How is Disney? There's no
Yeah.
way this guy is gonna. And man, by the end of that movie, I was like, that he can never go back. He could never, and he's such a good
Yeah.
actor. He's plays Santa Claus, and it's like, yeah, I guess you can go back. You can
He
do
can
whatever
play
you want.
anything.
You're Kurt Russell.
He can go anywhere. Absolutely. And he's there's something about him and
Yeah,
it's his look. He lends himself well
yeah,
to
yeah.
westerns big time. He just feels like he was in that era. And that's the cast. Sam Elliott,
I
the
was
man who
gonna
never
say
ages.
Sam Elliott,
Uh,
especially.
is Sam Elliott. I
He's an
know. Yeah.
immortal,
But unfortunately, I hope so because he's gotten older
but he looks
and
the exact
well,
same. He literally looks just like this
he's got
guy.
good. I know. He's probably 90 something
Gotta
now,
be,
or
man.
I don't know
I don't know
how
how
old
old
he
he is,
is,
man.
but
But then you see Val
yeah.
Kilmer, and I had never seen Val Kilmer in a bad guy role like this that I can remember. That I remember. This is the first.
Sam Elliott's only
Wow.
80. I apologize for
He
making him
seems
older
like
than
he's
he
always
actually
been
is.
around. Like he's always looked the same.
Yeah.
I don't ever remember him not having gray hair.
Well, that part is true. That part is true.
Anyway, Val Kilmer played Doc
Yeah.
Holliday, and he was just a cold-blooded, psychopathic killer. But he
But a
really
likable one.
loved Wyatt Earp. Like their friendship was
Mhm.
like the one guy say, "Man, I don't know why you're falling. Why are you doing this, Doc? I know why I'm doing it. You know, it's like I got I'm gonna get killed. Why are you doing it?" He's like, "Wyatt is my friend," and he says, well, "Man, I got a lot of friends, but I don't know, I'd be following anybody to hell like this." And he looks over at him and says, "Wyatt is my only friend," or he says something like that, like I have no other friends or something.
Yeah.
And it's like you see how lonely Doc has become over the years, you know? And it's like,
Yeah.
man, that's tough.
Well, and there's a lot of moments in there that show just how deep Wyatt and Doc's relationship ran. There's I forget what's said, but Doc says something that would be considered insulting if it was
Right.
from anybody else, and Wyatt's like, huh,
It's just Doc.
that's him.
It's
That's
just
who
Doc.
he. Yeah, that's just Doc, and he's not even
Yeah.
phased by it. Not he never freaks out. He just there's a moment when he sees Doc and I think they're out in the street and about to
Yeah.
have that shootout. I was like, oh
Yeah. He knows it's
shit,
shit's good.
because he knows
Oh,
it's
yeah. When he's
about to
got his
go
hands behind his
down.
back, he's already
So
got the gun in his hand. Oh,
yeah,
I'll be
yes,
your huckleberry.
yeah. It's like, oh
Like, oh,
shit.
man. And it could have went,
Yeah.
it was going to be real bad again. And the funny thing is, had that shootout, now I don't know how real that moment is in life, but for the movie,
Yeah.
if that shootout had happened and they would have taken out the rest of that gang, there wouldn't have been anybody left.
Well, I know. And that's this is always frustrating because and it's only because
Yeah.
we know the
Yeah.
outcome. It's easy for us to have hindsight bias on this because yeah, I'm sitting there screaming, take him
Yeah.
out and you're done. But we know that in the moment you may not, but it's all you see this fail in every single movie. We back off a little bit. No, you
Yeah.
double tap.
It's the good guys trying to do the
It's-
right thing. And sometimes when you're the good guy,
and maybe
you can't
that's
always
that's
be
the
the good
lesson.
guy. You
I
got
don't
to,
know.
sometimes good guys do bad things. You just, because bad people are going
It's
to
not so
always
black and
do
white, is
bad
it?
things. That's what they do. Occasionally, they might do
That's
something
correct.
nice, but they're doing it for a bad reason. They're not doing it ever, ever,
Yeah.
ever, never. Um, but Val Kilmer, his accent, his mannerisms, we've talked about actors before that when you watch them, you're mesmerized by them. Now, every other actor in this movie
Hmm.
is really good. I mean, Kurt Russell, Bean, uh, that they're just freaking phenomenal. But it's almost like Val Kilmer with so little screen time stole most of the movie when he's on there. Most
Hmm. Well,
Go ahead.
when
No, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. No, I was gonna say when I saw that he had passed and Janine had said, "Hey, you guys ought to do a Val Kilmer movie," I was like, "Yeah." The first thing that went in my
Right,
head, Tombstone. You mentioned Val Kilmer. I do
right.
think Iceman, but that comes
Yeah,
after
yeah,
this role. I picture this every damn time, and I got to thinking, it's like this man has done a ton of movies that I've seen, but this is
yeah.
the one I go
And
to.
I
So it's
think
yeah,
Mad Mortigan in Willow. That
yeah.
these
Willow,
those two
yes. God,
roles,
I forgot to see
those two
another
roles are
one.
my favorite roles of his, and they couldn't be more diametrically opposed to one another as far as one is humorous. I mean, Mad Mortigan is very, very funny. And then
Yeah,
Doc Holliday, like I said, he's a psychotic. The man is a psychotic,
yeah.
but he
He's a
has one
psycho.
friend and he will do anything for that friend and that friend's family. Anything.
Yep.
And this is, I would think if you're going to be, if you're studying acting, if you're like, I can't get into this character's head. What, he's a psychopath, but he's kind of got to be, I don't want to say lovable, but You can't hate him. How do you do that? Watch this movie and watch how he portrays Doc Holliday. He
Yeah.
he doesn't necessarily want to kill anybody. This this is what I took away
No.
from this viewing of this movie. The way he portrayed
Hmm.
it. He knew that he could take out Johnny Ringo.
Hmm.
He knew when Johnny Ringo's got that gun, he's doing all those tricks and he's just laughing. And
Oh, that
then
was
he
a
takes
funny
his little
moment.
cup
He clowned
and he
his
does
ass.
all the same kind of crap that Johnny Ringo did. And everybody in the place is just laughing their ass off. And Johnny Ringo's
Yep.
he's gonna go for the guns. Meanwhile, what nobody else sees is Wyatt Earp's got a double barrel shotgun underneath the
Yeah.
desk aimed right at Johnny Ringo. And everybody else is laughing. And the one guy just pats him on the back, like, let it go. Like, this is the time or the place.
Yep.
Just let it go. That I would say if you're playing a deep villain or a person that you want them to not be hated because they are teaming up with the good guy or the guy that you're
Hmm.
really, really rooting for, watch this movie. Watch Doc Holliday. Um,
Well,
yeah.
and you saw you yeah, he was kind of he had a lot of fun
Oh yeah.
breaking the
Yeah.
law. Let's just put it that way. But he was obviously a card shark. He was running a scam. He was doing something. We don't know if he was actually cheating or he was just the greatest poker player on the face of the earth. But I would tend to think the latter or both.
Probably cheat. You know what?
So,
I I took it that he was cheating, but I also took it that he usually when
mhm.
he was cheating people that were cheating. I could be wrong,
Yeah, it
but
seemed
that's
that
kind
way,
of how
didn't
I
it?
took it.
No, well, that's what I was getting at because it opens up with him, and you get this vibe that these are bad
Yeah.
guys anyway, and so he steals from him. But on the way out of the casino, he steals from the house, and it's like, okay, that tells you that was more
Yeah.
than just
Yeah.
that. And he's like, we don't even have to go back for our clothes. His partner in crime, well, she is already,
Yeah.
trying to arrange everything, and they just go from town to town to town, running
I
their
like
hustle.
I like that character, his girlfriend, and
Yeah.
the way what they had going on. And even when he was dying, this woman you would have thought would have just walked away. Would have just been, look, oh, you're dying. I gotta go. I'm out of here. But she didn't. She,
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
all accounts, I think she wound up dying, but I don't know of what. I mean, of course she did because it's 100 plus years later.
Well,
But
yeah. Yeah.
I think she
It's
died
100
out
years ago.
west. And I forgot she probably died of consumption or alcoholism or something like that. She died fairly
Yeah.
young, but I don't know how young. I just remember seeing a documentary, and there's a couple of docs that I'm going to watch about this, but it's just insane. Like the things these people had to do back then. And
Hmm.
he's just a small part of our history, Doc Holliday, and he's a name that sticks out
Yeah.
like hard.
Yeah. He made a name for himself
Yeah.
forever. Same with Wyatt Earp. And this is what's interesting that I like to see. And we know Wyatt was a lawman. Uh,
We'll put that in finger
but
quotes.
they did not shy away from showing the fact that he and his brothers basically came in to loot the town of all its money, running
Yeah.
cards and stuff. And it's like you see that it's like, oh, he's not such a good guy after all. He is, but he isn't because
Yeah.
this is very nuanced. This things aren't so black and white,
Yeah.
especially
And in
then.
real life, him and his
Um,
brothers were not much better than the Cowboys. Like when they
well,
started taking
probably
everybody's
not. Yeah.
guns away in the town, that was on them. They actually did that. And that was so nobody would
Yeah.
shoot them. That was their whole thing. They had the
Well,
guns,
yeah.
nobody else did. And that was one of the things that set off the Cowboys. They were like, no, you ain't taking our guns.
Yeah.
And I mean, judge that how you want, but some of the stuff that I've read, I mean, they were better than the Cowboys, but
Well, yeah. They did
like
a
you
good
said,
job
it's in
of
degrees, it's in
I
peeling back the the apple, and
well, Yeah, and we have to remember a lot of this is done for a movie. A lot of this is
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
embellished. And were the Cowboys really this horrible?
Yeah, they
Possibly.
were bad. They were bad
They
guys.
did.
Yeah.
Were they? Yeah. So they did a good job of showing, making you
Yeah.
hate them
Oh,
right
yeah,
off the
right
bat.
away.
So right away, so you know what kind of level of creeps and psychos you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Especially Johnny Ringo. Oh
Johnny
man.
Ringo was just a,
So
oh, what a crazy, crazy guy. Did you notice that
yeah.
Thomas Hayden Christensen was in there?
Thank you. I was like, who is that? Is that
It
Thomas
is.
Hayden Christensen? I was thinking that last night. I didn't say it
And
out loud,
Michael
but I know
Hooker,
exactly who it was. Yeah, Michael
Rooker. I thought
Rooker.
it was
Yeah.
Hooker. I'm sorry. Michael
Rooker is
Rooker.
Rooker. Yeah.
Um, Harry Carey was the marshal that got shot in the head that started actually setting
That
all
was
this
Harry
stuff off.
Carey.
Yeah. But what's
So I read just an interesting fact that that the marshal that was killed was actually in reality was in his 30s and was shot in the groin.
Yeah. Okay. That would make sense.
So
Why they made him an old man?
yeah. So anyway,
I wonder why they made
what's
him an
that?
old man.
Because they wanted to give Harry Carey a role.
It
It was
works. Yeah, it
fine. It
works.
worked.
But the funny
It
thing is,
worked.
when you watch that
So
in
I mean,
Powers Booth's acting, and he's shooting the guns up in the air. And I know we're all over the place with this movie. It is such a good movie. I can't
it is
talk
what it
about it
is.
linearly.
No, because there's so many good moments.
But in that scene where he shoots Harry Carey's character, is it an accident?
I think it was deemed
I
accidental
know it
or
was
ruled accidental, but we knew who was in charge of the town
I
and
know it was
everything at that
deemed
point. But
accidental, but when you see him, he's
yeah,
got the
but
guns
was it?
flipped over and he's handing them to him. It looks like the gun
It
actually
could have been.
falls. And I'm wondering if that was Powers Booth going, how about we leave it up to the audience? I would see that'd be a question that I would ask
Yeah.
Powers Booth.
That's
Is
one of
this
those
your
moments.
call to make it
Yeah.
look like maybe it was an accident? Because his character would have probably shot
Yeah.
the guy, but then you have to sit there and when you watch him hand him the guns and the gun goes
He
off,
was high as
you're
hell,
like,
man.
oh crap, was that an accident?
Yeah. Well, he was definitely under the influence of a
Oh,
lot of opium.
he was
He was
boozed up too,
messed
man. He was,
up, man. Yeah, so
yeah.
he was trashed, and so it does leave it up to the audience whether it was, purposeful or not. But it really doesn't matter. He
Oh
was a
yeah.
bad character. I
And
mean, a
Michael
bad
Biehn
person.
playing Johnny Ringo.
Oh, he played that so well. He played that really well. I also read in the same place I read that was that it's was speculated that Johnny Ringo killed himself because he did have a shot in the head and was just found, and there was no proof or anything that Doc Holliday was there. I don't know if that's accurate. This is one source I
think the
read.
Doc Holliday is in the movie. I think that's where that comes from. They assume that it was one of the Earps, like what it was either Earp or Doc or what. They don't think he just committed suicide. I mean, I wouldn't think that a guy like that, because you can look through history. The guys like that don't commit suicide because they think they're better than everybody else. They'd rather run, hide, and then come back and kill you. That kind of psycho doesn't commit suicide. Somebody got close to him enough because those guns back then weren't really accurate. So you had to be right up on top of your target, from what I understand. All the Western lore that I watch, and they show the weapons and the pistols, and they're like, well, this gun, you could stand 10 feet from the guy, you're going to miss him. You have to get right up on him. And they talk about fast draws. Some of the old documentaries will talk about fast draws. Some of them will talk about like the type of ammo. It all depended, I guess, on the ammo and the type of gun you had, like how accurate it was. So that's why sometimes you hear about these guys that have the guns that are, I don't want to say pearl handled, but it's like the mother of pearl handles with the special cocking mechanism. And that was because those were the bullet, and then you'd pack in the ammo or the gunpowder behind it. And they were like, those were like some of the worst guns you could have, but a lot of guys had them because they were cheap. And then I guess when Colt came out and started making a better gun, they're like, oh, we're gonna go over here to get the Colt 45s and all that. But
Yeah.
whoever got
Yeah.
him was either a damn good shot or got real close to him and had a real grudge against him. I
Yeah.
prefer to
Yeah.
think that Doc
And
Holliday
I
took
am
him
so
out.
thankful. I'm so thankful that we have anesthesia.
Oh my
That's all
God.
I'm going to say. Yeah. So there's a scene in here, and just where somebody gets shot, and they trying to dig the bullet out, and it's brutal
Yeah,
because
there's
there's
no
no
anesthesia.
anesthesia.
And yeah, oh,
Um,
God. And I was Kat was watching that and she's like, I don't know how they did that. I was like, oh, what do you mean? And she's like, that's she's been in those situations where she's in emergency rooms and having to be there. She's like,
mhm.
that's what it looks like. She goes, that is what a gun wound, like a bad gun wound looks like. Yeah,
Somebody did their
everybody,
research.
when you're bleeding out like that, there's not much you can try. We're better at
Wow.
it now, but she goes, I can't imagine back then. But she was talking about the blood spitting up, and she goes, it's the
Yeah.
right color blood, it's the right consistency. Is the blood all? I mean, she was just like, she was amazed. And I love this is one of the reasons I love my
Yeah.
wife so much. She loves this movie. She loves this movie. It's like one of her all-time favorite movies. And I was like,
Oh,
that's really shocking.
awesome.
This
Well,
is kind
good.
of a guy's flick. And she's like, I love this flick. I love this movie. This is such a good movie. She goes, well written, well. And I was like, I know, but I knew she liked it, but I didn't know how much. And then last night we were talking a little bit, and I was like, holy cow. So you love the Three Stooges and you like Tombstone. God, got lucky.
There you go.
And she likes
There
Val
you
Kilmer
go.
almost as much
So
as
I'm
me.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah. So yeah, this goes down as when I think of
Yeah.
favorite westerns. It's on my list. It's on a lot of
Yeah.
people's list. It's a well written, well shot, well
Mhm.
acted, well edited. The only negative I had is there's a couple times it drags a little bit. Could have trimmed up a little bit, but this is me
Right.
nitpicking
Right.
a really good movie. So it's just a small critique because I had to try and find something bad.
I tried. I
So
didn't see it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to talk a little bit about Val Kilmer, because he did so
please.
many serious movies, and most people think of like Heat. They think of this movie. They think of uh, um, not Maverick, but Top Gun. When you think
Top
of
Gun.
Val Kilmer,
I thought of Real Genius.
exactly. When you see him in Real Genius, as far as I know, that and what the spy movie? Top Secret. Top
Oh, what
Secret.
was that?
When
Top
you see him
Secret,
in those two
yes.
movies, you're
Yeah.
like, holy crap, this guy's a comedian. He's he's funny.
He's
And
funny.
I think that's a natural funny coming out. Like, I think he read the script, saw the funny, and said, I can do that. I can be funny. I'm good looking, but I can still be funny. And I think that is very amazing for a lot of people. A lot of serious actors can't be comedic, but a lot of comedians can become very serious
Yeah.
actors. They can turn that on a
Yeah.
dime. It seems like serious actors have
I
a
think
harder
it's because
time, doing it.
it seems like everybody can be serious, but not everybody can master the timing to make
Yeah,
something funny.
exactly.
And it's not just saying something funny. I can write you some funny lines, but it's going to be up to the actor to deliver this in a way that
Right,
makes me
right.
laugh. And all of it is in the speech
Mhm.
pattern, the
The
timings,
one,
it's just something that it's the look. I think it's when somebody's
mhm.
funny, it's just natural. I don't think you can make funny.
No,
I don't
I
know.
think it's a mixture. I think it's the mixture of the writer, the
Yeah.
actor, or the comedian.
Given,
But I'm just amazed at him. There is one movie. There's one
yes,
movie. It's not his fault. Not his fault. The Batman movie. I did
that's
not
not his
like that
fault.
movie. I did like Jim Carrey. The best thing about that particular movie was Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And he
He's
was
a good
a
Riddler.
great, yeah, that's how the Riddler should have been in
Was
that
it Riddler?
crappy
Yeah.
Batman movie we watched. The Batman, which they're making a freaking sequel of. Oh, it
Yeah.
hurts. Anyway,
Yeah.
the
I'm done. I want to see
I do want to
Superman.
see, and what's funny, the
I'll say that
reason I
much.
want to see Superman is all the reasons it seems like people are saying, I don't know if this is going to be good. It looks like, they're going too much to the
Oh, it's going to be
Swan
good.
era. And, they talk about the Superman cartoon back in the 30s and 40s. I'm like, okay, I'm in. I will go see
Yeah.
that movie at the theater.
You were in when you
Yeah,
saw
it's the
Crypto.
minute I saw Crypto, I was like, I'm in. I'm gonna go see this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great
I
trailer.
thought
It's a
so,
great
and I
trailer. I'm
understand
looking
people's
forward to it.
nitpicks about that trailer, but it's got Crypto.
It's good. I'm
Um,
with you. I'm with you. So, but Val Kilmer, yes, Batman movie. It killed me because when I saw the news of his passing, that was like Batman actor played is like really he
yeah,
did so much more than that. Why are
well,
we bringing that up? Because I don't think of
yeah,
him as
even
Batman. Same way as I don't think of George
definitely
Clooney
don't
as
think of George
Batman.
Clooney as Batman. Christ, um, don't get me started. There's only Michael Keaton. All right, Michael Keaton is the only Batman.
Yes, because he
I'm
said it.
Batman.
I'm Batman.
There is something that I want everybody to try and find. I've been looking for it for 3 days. I can't find it. I know it exists. I don't know how to find it. I don't know where to find it. It's called Cinema Twain. It is a one-man show of Val Kilmer portraying Mark Twain. He's in the white suit. He's got the big
Interesting.
mustache. He's got the hair. I think I sent you a clip. You may have to check your Insta.
I'll have to look.
I just that one clip that I saw made me want to see this movie. I'm like, I'm going to buy this damn thing. I'm looking. I'm like, nobody's got
Interesting.
this thing. It's a one-man stage show.
So it's is it the same stage show that others have done in the past? Like
I
I think it was Hal
don't think
Holbrook
so.
did
Hal
one, and
Holbrook
there's
did
been
that for so
others.
many
Oh,
years that
I mean, that was just a random thing that popped in my head, David. It's like I remember the album and everything and seeing Hal Holbrook on it. It's like, why am I
I
thinking
just
of
know
Hal
that Hal
Holbrook?
Holbrook never did it after he stopped because he had to go to a psychiatrist or psychologist to get out of that because he started thinking he was Mark
Because he
Twain
did it for so
because he did
long.
it for so long. But
Wow.
either somebody caught him that was close to him or he caught himself like thinking he was Mark Twain one day and was like, I got to stop doing this show and I need help
Well,
because he would talk to people
yeah,
and they would be asking him like Holbrook and
he
he's like,
became.
who?
Yeah.
Like he was becoming Mark Twain kind of thing.
Wow. Wow. Man, that's a movie
Yeah,
in
I would love to
itself.
see that.
Just that story.
But Val Kilmer,
Yeah.
he says, I don't remember what the line is, but he's talking. It says the little clip that you can find. You can find one or two little clips of it. And I just when I hear him talking, I'm like, oh hell, I gotta get this. He's talking about like when people are applauding him and saying, "We love you," da, 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 whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I love that sound." He goes, "I love it. I love it. Keep giving it to me. Keep giving it to me." He goes, "It's like angels licking my face. Just keep giving it to me." And I died laughing. I'm like, "Oh my God." And he played it so like you would think that that was actually Mark Twain up on stage. That's how well.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
I'm looking, if
Wow.
anybody comes
Yeah, I'll
across
have to
it
look for that.
and can figure out a way to get it,
Please drop us a
please let
line.
me
Let
know,
us
please.
know.
But that was one of those things I'd
Absolutely.
never even heard of until after he
I didn't know
passed
that
on.
either.
But evidently, doing that show, he lost his voice. He had to go down and find out what's going on with my voice. I have a sore throat. And
Is
that's
that
how he
how he
found
found
out
out
he
he had
had throat
cancer?
cancer. And I was like,
Oh
son
man.
of a bitch. What a
Yeah.
terrible way to find out. But he
Yeah.
loved doing it. He loved doing everything he did. And that's you can't ask for anything else.
Yeah. And he was good. He was good at it.
Really
He was
good.
really good at it. He will be
Yeah.
missed.
Yeah. And like you said, there's so many movies. And I started going through movies
I
that I know
forgot.
him in, and most of them I've seen. And I'm like, my God. And they're all pretty much different movies. He was Johnny Depp before Johnny Depp. He was he was a
Yeah.
character actor. He would just
Yeah.
go in and do something. Don't know that he ever did a
That
sequel.
was you're absolutely right. You've got him that those guys all running that's that same whole Johnny Depp, Patrick Swayze, Val
Yeah.
Kilmer. These are the stars from this time frame that all they have a
Yeah.
similar vibe and appearance and everything. It's
Yeah.
it's kind of
Yeah.
neat. So it's yeah.
God
Wow.
bless Val
Wow.
Kilmer, man. He was a good actor. damn good actor.
Yeah.
And as far as Tombstone goes, everybody is great in this movie. But Val Kilmer,
Yeah.
for as little of time
That's
that
who you're
he
going to
has
remember.
on, he's the one that you remember all the lines from. I'll be your huckleberry.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Ringo. You look like someone just walked across your grave.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh
Good
yeah.
performance. Great performance. Good movie.
Great
Great
movie.
movie. It was just this is a classic.
Yeah,
It's a must watch
absolutely a must
from
watch.
us here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like our show, hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Please hit the subscribe. I'll say it one more time. Please hit the subscribe.
Definitely hit the like button too.
Yes, that too. Hit it. Just hit all the buttons except the down.
Except the thumbs up.
Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Laters.